that needs to be applied today. And I think this game is going to be won by individual brilliance.
All right, and there you can see this Mamelodi Sundowns side coming in. We just saw their coach a while ago, Rulani Mokoena, a man who has spoken so highly of this Orlando Pirates side, Hlompo, as well as Coach Ribeiro. Let's look at the fact that you'd have to go back all the way to January 2020 for the last time that the Buccaneers were victorious against the Sundowns side.
Today's form will determine the outcome of this match today. Skizo touched a very important element of this match. When you are sober in the approach of this match, you stand a chance of winning this match. In Sundowns camp, the most important thing is to go in Orlando and make sure that they cancel Orlando Pirates, because they're their competitors this season. Look at the way Orlando Pirates started. They started so well. But while I was there during my time at Sundowns, we always knew when you go to Orlando Stadium, we don't have to lose. Rather, if the less or the worst result we can get there is a draw. This match won't win you the league, won't even change anything in the league at this present moment. But it is a big match where players have to show how ready they are for the big season that is coming.
And when you go there, you go now to the Hlompo stand. And you make sure you put all the pressure. Let's now go through to Esgodini. We do have our journalist there, Omazola. Super Journal Relief is standing by. Let's get a scene set now from him and just get an understanding of how things are going so far out at the Orlando Stadium ahead of kickoff and this very important clash.
Thank you, Vusiwe, Skizo and Mkonza in studio. I'm coming pitchside from Orlando Stadium, a venue where we are expecting what some of us have billed as a title indicator in as far as the DSTV Premiership is concerned. But no. Coach Rulani Mokoena is refusing to acknowledge it as such. He says no championship has ever been won so early into the season. Coach Jose Ribeiro feels the same way, that you've got to test yourself, especially given that it's a big week for both teams. Mamelodi Sundowns, of course, do face Kaizer Chiefs in the MTN 8 second leg semi-final, as well as Stellies coming to this very venue to play Orlando Pirates on Sunday. But the key factor here, the significance of this fixture and at this venue, is whether Mamelodi Sundowns can continue their dominance over the Buccaneers. We know we go as far back as 2020 to see the time when Joseph Zinnbauer, a German tactician, was actually in the dugout leading Orlando Pirates to get a victory over the Brazilians, who are six-time champions. Whether tonight they'll overturn the results and change the history and change the statistics is another thing. But what is also key is whether the two sides could be meeting against each other again in a venue yet to be decided on October the 7th in the final of the MTN 8. But the key focus is this here. The business of the day is here in Orlando Stadium between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. Vusiwe, I'll throw it back to you and Skizo and Captain Hlompo Kekana to dissect it further.
All right, thank you so much to Mazola out, of course, at the Orlando Stadium. We will be crossing over to him a bit later on as well during this build-up. We now take a look at this. Skizo, I was in Ngawe. Today's battle is going to be very tactical, it's going to be very technical. Let's speak to the approach we're expecting from Coach Ribeiro.
I think if you profile the Pirates, you look at the side that it's a mixture of the heavy position side, plus obviously the explosive fast break attack. Pirates play with a lot of speed on the wide areas. You have Abo Saleng, you have Mfukeng, Masonga is given a free role. But then what becomes important is how he lines up his defense, because if you have an explosive attackers like that, you need to have a solid defense that's going to protect these players from a defensive responsibility. So I think today, he set up a coach, addresses defensive balance, addresses solidity through the spine, the central cover, and it addresses the constant explosive transition against Sundowns that not so many teams catches Sundowns, especially with counter-attack because of Sundowns. They immediately press in counter-press. But now, to escape counter-press, you need a good width and depth to escape it. But I don't think teams have mastered that. And Pirates, they've done it when they played Pirates Cup game where they won 3-0. Hopefully the application will be the same today.
All right, we'll see whether or not that application will be the same. I guess that's a careful. When we come back, we take a look at how Coach Rulane possibly is looking coming into Umdlalo namhlanje, and we get deeper in terms of how both teams are looking in terms of their attack and their defense. That's coming up after the break. But for now, get into the thick of the action with Betway's convenient, safe and secure range of deposit options.
Away from something incredible.
He's the last hurdle in Oscar's multi-bet.
With Win Boost, another great feature from Betway, every leg he adds could boost his win by up to 300%.
There it is. It's a shoe.
It's a goal! What a win boost! All thanks to Betway.
Before I knew that you would be the one that always makes me smile, like a happy child. Before I knew that you would be the one that always makes me smile, like a
Bacarmo, good for every kind of different.
Today is going to be a big day.
What if today you score that winning try?
Wow, today can be a big day.
With Aquafresh confidence, today can be a big day.
Complete Care. Formulated with 8 benefits in one product. Have complete confidence to make every day a big day.
The SABC has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that's fair, and programming that is not harmful, does not amount to hate speech or violence or explicit sex. If you think we are not living up to that code, then you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Direct any complaints in writing to the BCCSA, PO Box 412 365, Craig Hall 2024. Send a fax to 011 326 3198 or an email to bccsa@nabsa.co.za. For more information, please visit bccsa.co.za.
And smile for the cam, it hits with a bang. Now you try, Cooley.
I'll break it down, break it down, break it down. Yes, yes.
I'll never take another target to say what I do. More like to live, this is what I gotta do. I'll break it down, break it down, break it down.
There's much, much more behind every lunch bar legend.
Not everyone can score from the box, but you can still taste victory when you unbox something amazing. Order the large triple decker for the special price of 189 Rand and 90 cents. Debonairs Pizza, try something amazing. Welcome back. We are, of course, building up to this big clash between Orlando Pirates as well as the defending champions in the DStv Premiership in Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, before Siyakude kakhulu in our build-up, I am joined by Hlompo Kekane as well as Sphiwe Mkhonza. Let's listen in now on a head coach oweqembu edlalele ekhaya namhlanje Esgodini sikaMaminzela, Coach Jose Ribeiro.
Coach Ribeiro, thanks for your time. Do you feel it's a clash that comes in time or too early at this time of the season to test how good you can be this season?
It is what it is. We cannot choose when we play against, so it's a good time because it's the time that we have to play. So there's no thoughts about that. We try to prepare the team for each and every game in the best way possible. Today we're gonna face a fantastic team, a very mature team, difficult to deal with, but we are happy to have that opportunity, to have that challenge here in our home, and trying to find our best version one more time.
You've seen their lineup. What do you make of it, and what type of game do you expect?
As usually, two teams that are not going to speculate with the result. We are looking for a win. I'm 100% sure that Sundowns is looking for a win as well, and that will create a good atmosphere for sure, good football, chances to score, and hopefully more goals in our side.
Right, Coach Ribeiro there just speaking on both sides, possibly looking for a win here today. Mkonza, what do you make of Lezinto Coach Aga's Kulmayo, even just his demeanor coming into Lomdlalo namhlanje?
You can see the tension, and he knows how big this game is. But also, if I affect to coach, we should take serious. But again, a reflection coach says it all, the importance of this match, and against the type of opposition like Sundowns, it wouldn't be easy. But he speaks about the processes which I was talking about, which are important for Bona, which namhlanje application needs to be spot on in terms of the consistency in how the players play. I know there's some of the players who are not part of the setup, especially like Undlondo, who links up the play for him. So you can see good attention in corner, and we're understandable. It is a big match.
It is a big match indeed, and we will, of course, get into that starting 11 for the Orlando Pirates side in just a bit and look at how the coach is approaching this game from a tactical and technical point of view. Let's now hear from the man who had a lot of praise to sing of the Sundowns, or rather Orlando Pirates side ahead of this clash, Rulani Mokoena.
Thanks, Coach Rulani, for your time. I've had a look at your starting lineup as well as the bench. Your injury blues are gone.
Huge compliments to the medical staff, huge compliments to the support staff and the people working behind the scenes to recover the players, and also huge compliments to them. They've worked very, very hard. Shalulile, Morena, Pizzo, a lot of the players that were out have worked extremely hard, and great compliments to the technical team and the medical staff and to the players.
Are you as confident going into this game as the stats suggest? You've been dominant in this fixture over long periods.
Football is football, Mazola. You're only as good as your last game, and so we've got to be good today. And forget about everything else and just focus on the match itself.
Focusing on the match itself is Rulani Mokoena. Hlompo, in terms of just how Mamelodi Sundowns is lining up namhlanje, what is your expectations in terms of your approach, Garulani?
I think they know the danger that Pirates can pose into their team. And I think they brought in Mbule, who for me is the best passer of the ball in that Sundowns team. So they'll rely more on him to make sure that he stays on the ball. He doesn't exchange position with Orlando Pirates. We have seen over the years how Orlando Pirates plays with a lot of pace. So when you go to Orlando, the only thing that we can do for Orlando Pirates to lose the match is never change position with them, and this is the best tactic for them to use Mbule on the ball. I don't know how long will it take him to be in the match, but I hope he lives.
All right, and of course we are building up to this clash, and we're looking forward to see how both these coaches will utilize their players and whether or not the Buccaneers will be able to overturn their fate. The last time they were victorious against this Mamelodi Sundowns side, you'd have to go all the way back to January 2020. Now, in other news, Shield's a 72-hour non-stop sweat protection. It works harder the more that you move. So put Shield to the test on the day of the big game. Shield, it won't let you down. We'll see you back after this break.
Last box, Richard.
Thanks, Manu.
Fetch your life. Go on, be alive. Ain't nobody living out.
One last box.
Be someone who's living out here.
Unbox something amazing. The large triple decker for the special price of $189.90. Debonair's Pizza. Try something amazing.
Whenever you have something really cold and then you get this short, sharp kind of sensation, that's sensitivity. It can get worse. The problem is not going to go away by itself. I always recommend Sensodyne. It's specially designed to care for their sensitivity. And I've had people coming back to me saying it's made a difference. It works.
Rice doesn't get better than this. Speckle.
Content creators, share your vibe this Heritage Day with the new Honor 90 5G from Vodacom, SA's most reliable network. Capture every moment in stunning detail with a 200 megapixel ultra-clear camera and upload online with lightning-fast 5G. Make it yours today on a 2.4 gig Red Core plan for 629 Rand per month over 36 months. Available in-store or online. Further together, Vodacom.
Fruit. Nothing but fruit. Nothing quite like it.
Yongini zihamba kakuhle tata. Uzonyibeleka.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
When it comes to pain, we only seem to talk about two sides. The pain you feel and the relief once it's gone. But what about the moment in between? When you're finally released from pain. That moment when you start to get back to ordinary, and ordinary feels amazing. Whatever pain you're going through, release starts here.
Mamelodi Sundowns head coach Rulani Mokoena labeled this a big week for the reigning DStv Premiership champions, taking into account back-to-back fixtures against two of Soweto's finest clubs. The Brazilians visit Orlando Pirates tonight in a league encounter and then host Kaizer Chiefs in the MTN 8 semi-final second leg 3 days later. And Mokoena, ever the perfectionist, wants to win both. But perhaps this is an even bigger clash for the Buccaneers to make a statement by ending Sundowns' dominance over them in the race for the coveted championship trophy. Pirates have not beaten the Tshwane Giants in a league game since January 2020 when Joseph Zimbabwe was head coach. It then means the current Buccaneers mentor, Jose Ribeiro, has to put a stop to this unwanted record of a 7-game streak in which Downs have completely been the dominant force. The last time the two Giants met was in April at the same venue where tonight's much-anticipated battle takes place, and it was an early goal from striker Cassius Mailula, now in the USA playing for Toronto FC, proved the winner to hand Sundowns maximum points. It was a result that edged them closer to a record 6th league title last season, while it left the Buccaneers reeling as they once again failed to tame their Clorco-based counterparts who'd beaten them in 5 consecutive Premiership fixtures before. Pirates are the ones who now need to make a statement. All right, and as they look to make a statement, we look at where the Orlando Pirates side is in log standings. Mkonza said, Pirates now occupying that 9th position. They've only played 4 games, 2 wins, 1 draw, as well as 1 loss. What do you make of that? I mean, it is still very early stages in this.
My worry with Orlando Pirates, it's interrupted consistency. Pirates, where we expect them to win, they don't get maximum points. Yes, they are position 9 because of they played less matches. But when you're challenging for the league, you already needs to be closer to Sundowns who already played 7 matches. So 4 games, that means you still have 3 games that you have to play, because games in hand are not points. You still have to win those matches. So if Pirates can find that consistency, they'll find themselves on top Lapanabo Sundowns.
And then Hlompho, on the other end of the table, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns occupying that first position. But what you see here when you look at this log at the moment is that the Sundowns side certainly has no problems finding the back of the net.
Well, they don't have any problem finding the back of the net. You've got Reverio, they've got Peter, who just got back from injury. And I think they'll rely more on their captain, Thembazwane, to create the moments for them, because in Orlando, there might be not many moments for Peter to score. But they've got Marcelo Allende, who has been doing so well for the team up to so far. I think this is the match that will really test them to that level and to check how far they are in terms of the level come the Champions League.
And you speak of Zwane, also a man that we've seen this season just taking more chances at finding the back of the net.
Well, it's so refreshing to see Thembas. You know, he has changed to be this attacker who takes shot out of the box of late. I don't know where he has learned that technique.
It's almost like a sort with Tebogo. Because Tebogo's not taking those shots.
And I would love to see Tebogo, you know, taking more of those shots, because, I mean, in matches like this, the individual, as Mkonza said, they will really have to define this match for us.
All right, will it come down to individual brilliance of the players, or will it be the tactical astuteness of the coaches that will make the difference here today between Indle Mnyama and the Brazilians? We'll find out as kickoff is just coming in a couple of minutes' time, but we'll take a quick ad break before we look at the starting 11s of these two teams.
Boost your winnings up to 300% with every selection you add.
All right, let's take you through to our commentary team now. We do have Reynard Kuhn in English, as well as Joe Woodla in Zulu.
Time and time again, we're taken for a trip down memory lane, and one day this game will be part of a volume of countless classics. But before it is stored on the shelves of history, it is ours to enjoy. The wait is finally over. It's Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns. 228 days have passed since their last reunion. In that time, both have sung the tune of a champion. Brazilians in the league and the Buccaneers in the cup. And there is a reason as to why the hosts refer to themselves as the People's Club. From the Natal Spraits Indian Sports Grounds in the 1960s to the Orlando Stadium in the present. This club, this venue, is part of the very fibre of our game. The words and the litany, once a pirate, always a pirate, has lasted lifetimes. And they really are the perfect expression of urban African culture. And this is their team. Rivera has made 10 changes. Oki is the only one to have retained his place after the Jwaneng Galaxy Challenge. The new boy Baloni is awarded with his first start in a Pirates jersey. He'll feature alongside youngster Mofokeng and rockstar Maswan Gani. Monari Sibisi, Marco Seleng Lepasa all return for the Buccaneers in what is a game with huge consequences attached. But that's enough from me. Here's the voice of Mr. Joe Hoodler.
Ayaphela ke ngempela la abaphuphuke namhlanje sobona ukuthi ke irecord le Mamelodi Sundowns engafunike la ukulidedela ukuthi kuzokwenzeka kanjani angabe ama Buccaneers ezimnyama ezidlala ekhaya kwesikamamizela isigodi ukuthi-ke zingahluleka na ukuthi benze lokho okwazi okwathi ngonyaka ofile kwenziwa-ke iyona laphana-ke iqembu-ke le-Supersport. Nangu laphana-ke insizwa-ke uRivero ungithusile-ke namhlanje i-team adlala ngayo i-team ehlaselayo ngempela nongabona laphana-ke i-line-up yabo, kanti-ke la i-Sundowns nansi ibuyiseke namhlanje ade agcina ukumbona mina uSipho Mbule kodwa kukhona laphana-ke lapho Marcelo Alende aliphunyuki ibhola kulo kualende aliphunyuki noma uthanda laphana-ke lo mfana, kodwa-ke ngithemba mbuyisele-ke indlela-ke la anikezana ngayo laphana-ke ibhola yena laphana-ke umfana-ke omdala.
Orlando Pirates have opened their doors to a tactician from distant lands to continue telling its tale. As for their foes, Mamelodi Sundowns first seized the league crown in the summer of '88. Little did we know that was the beginning of a yellow cloud that would engulf all kingdoms. Behold, past kings of this league, the sons of royal birth and God's chosen ones, the rewriters of history, embark on a defense of their threatened throne, led by that man, Rulani Mokoena. Sundowns have been superior, not just stylish, stupendously sublime, not just shoe shine. And as we have a look at the match officials, Masikole Bambiso is tonight's whistleblower and decision maker. For Orlando Pirates, the thought of plundered gold makes them shiver with excitement. It makes them brave and bold. Gold and silverware their idol, and upset their motivation and the rhythm of 20,000 strong Buccaneers, their muse. This is the game of the season so far, the most wanted match by people like you and I. And there it is, the sign of skulls and crossbones, warning Mamelodi Sundowns of imminent danger. But the Brazilians have sambaed with danger before. This is our league's very own version of a Grand Slam. Sundowns have been on a path of destruction. Will their faultless start to the campaign reach a premature end in Orlando? In the face of the champions, sweat of fear can often paralyze, but at no time has a pirate been afraid. And Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns is official. Mamelodi Sundowns in their traditional Brazilian strip. Orlando Pirates in the black with white and red trim. The sun has gone to sleep, and when night falls, the inner belly of Orlando roars louder. This breathtaking brawl is an ode to Orlando, an ode to the Pirates and Brazilians of PSL antiquity. It's a huge clash that lies in store indeed. Orlando, its football team and its football arena resembles the ongoing struggle for survival and advancement of the urban proletariat. An occasion such as this provides an opportunity to escape the working class life. And there's a deep, almost bottomless meaning in people's attachment to this ground and to this very fixture. Here's Maswanganyi for the Buccaneers. He's a born entertainer. China put under some pressure by the workhorse, that is Peter Shalulile. And Rivero has cleverly called upon four midfielders to perhaps just match the creative cavalry that is Mokoena, Mbule, Allende and Tembazwane in the midfield. Just 2 weeks ago, the down squad was thin. In the words of Rulani Mokoena, stripped to the bone. But the return of Tembazwane and Peter Shalulile in the starting lineup, as well as Morena and Tapela Maseko on the bench, means that the Brazilian aura has returned. Both these clubs play a head-turning brand of football. When Mamelodi Sundowns are in full control, they play with an unparalleled type of grace and elegance. Orlando Pirates simply cannot afford to relinquish control. Mokoena gave quite a brilliant tactical insight into the Pirates' way of playing under Jose Rivero. Their attacking sequences are far shorter than that of Mamelodi Sundowns. It takes Sundowns 40 passes, 40 seconds to score a goal, and half for Orlando Pirates perhaps. And Orlando Pirates are, in his eyes, quicker and more concise in their build-up play. But at the end of the day, it's a fundamental, almost philosophical difference between the two coaches. Tebogo Mokoena makes a steal in the half of Orlando Pirates. Mokoena again. Is Peter Shalulile offside? He is indeed. Now, Sunday's loss to Jwaneng, Galaxy and Gaborone ended Orlando Pirates' 7-match unbeaten streak across the 3 currently active competitions. The Buccaneers have a perfect record in Orlando this season. Their start to the league season reads 7 points from 4 matches, and if they are to win their 2 games in hand, Pirates will climb from 9th all the way up to 3rd. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, there's not a day that goes by that they aren't on top of the table. The Brazilians are 6 from 6. They are the league's leading scorers with the best defensive record. Allende gets there first, ahead of Monopule Saleng. Saleng has actually only registered 3 goal contributions so far this season. However, like last year, taught us, if there is any match that boosts his stats and hunger, it is this fixture against the Brazilians. Wonderful switch. Or attempted switch at least to find Monopule Saleng, who applauds and gives a thumbs up to the effort from his captain, Oki. Now, his partnership with Sibisi rarely falters. Ronan Williams was struck down with illness over the international break, but he returned to the spotlight against Buma Muru to collect his 6th clean sheet of the season. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns have indeed initiated their 7th, or their hunt for their 7th straight league title. It almost sounds too good to be true. It sounds fantastical, but it could soon turn into reality if a side like Orlando Pirates cannot put it to an end. And if the Brazilians avoid defeat tonight, they will equal the PSL top flight record for the longest unbeaten run. Kaizer Chiefs hold the record of 31 games, a feat achieved with Ertugrul and Ted Dumitru between 2004 and 2005. Here's Oki. Boulet returns to the Sundowns starting 11. He's only had 12 minutes of league football so far this season, but there's a turnover in the midfield, and Monopule Saleng is the recipient. Now that should be offside. From Bandile Shandu, who just made that overlapping run. He's already scored 1 goal this season, against Chippa United. Just mistiming his dart in behind ever so slightly. Teboho Mokoena almost ran into some trouble, but saved by the whistle of Masikole Bambiso. It's a star-studded lineup tonight. Everywhere you look, game changes scattered all around the field. Butwill looks for Peter Shalulile. China himself was rested over the weekend. A well-deserved break after not putting a foot wrong in the last 6 months. For the Sea Robbers, sublime first touch from Monapule Saleng. Allende slipping on the wet turf. Since winning the league 11 years ago, the closest Orlando Pirates have come to reclaiming the throne they think belongs to them was in the 2018-2019 season, when they finished second, 2 points behind you-know-who. Here's Ribeiro Costa. Tembazwane wants it. Tembazwane gets it. Peter Shalulile in the box, but he's taken down. Is that a penalty? You bet it is. Huge moment of the game so far. The Buccaneers surround Mr. Bambiso. Tembazwane returns and wins a penalty for the champions. It is a colossal moment in this fixture, one that the local Buccaneers simply cannot believe. Now let's have another look. Maswanganyi was dispossessed by Mbule. Then Ribeiro Costa combined effectively with Tembazwane, and his clever little chop back deceived Baloni. It's unfortunate, it's perhaps soft, but he did make contact with the ankle of Tembazwane on his debut for Orlando Pirates, giving away a penalty to the champions. Now, Orlando Pirates have scored a penalty before this season. Their first goal of the season was from the spot. It was converted by Peter Shalulile. Lucas Ribeiro Costa was on penalty duty against Buma Muru. He scored, and it is he and not Peter Shalulile that will be taking this penalty. He's 2 from 2, scored one against Polokwane City. Can he do so against Orlando Pirates in Orlando? Ribeiro Costa buries it. Sundowns strike. That is what champions do. You can't take your eyes off this one, Joe. You cannot take your eyes off Ribeiro Costa. He scores his 5th league goal of the season.
Izbekeke lapha ke ebuhleni ngempela la ipenalty le yokuqala nje eyenzekayo ke kulomdlalo. Nansi ke le ndoda esibheke nje kuqala le penalty ayikhona ubalolo ulithathile unyawo luka Tembazwane. Bathi ke nomshayi wepenalty ngempela uLucas laphana ke Ribeiro kuyasho ukuthi ke iSundowns i-scouting team yabo iyawenza ke umsebenzi ikakhulukazi ke uzokhumbula ukuthi yathanda ke ukugawula lapha ke eSouth America yona ke iMamelodi Sundowns zobakhumbula oToriel babe basuka khona lapha ke kulapha eSouth America abafana ke abadala gadla ngabo ke la iMamelodi Sundowns njoba ke isibeke ke manje ke ngegoli ke elilodwa ke lapha ke phambili yona iMamelodi Sundowns nangilapha ubhuthile iOrlando Pirates uzothwala ke kanzima njengamanje lapha ibhola beliphunyuke lapha ke kuMaswanganye lento ke esike sathi kuyiphawula ukuthi hayi unesibindi uRivero lapha ke ithimu ayiqalile lapha esiswini ithimu ke lapha ehlaselayo ake sibheke ke lapha ke uyena la uMudawu noMugwena asibonela uRivaldo Kuthiye naye ubambuyisile ungabona nje iSundowns abadlali nabo uma ikwazi ukubeka abadlali abafana njengoGrant Kekana ngaphandle nangilapha uButhwili odlala ngapha ke kwesokunxele nangilapha ke uAlende alahlwa ke ibhola kuyena lapha uMarcelo Alende awulithathi futhi malisekuye enyaweni ungalithatha kwabanye hayi kuye la siboneke lapha ibhola uRunwen Williams sengeke ngambheka ikhathi eziningi yena lapha ke lendoda eseVenezuela sibone lapha ibhola ke uMudawu udlala lapha right back kodwa ke uHugo kamfisisi kahle si right back lapha ayithandayo una ke uSinjobe seze wabiza uMonyane engicabanga ukuthi ke uyena ke lapha ke osodlala right back isikhathi esiningi nange lapha ke insizwa lapha ke iphansi yena lapha umfaka Alende sobona ke lapha ukuthi ke uthini kodwa yiyo ke lapha ke yahlala lapha ke phansi kusho ukuthi ke uma ngabe kuyiyo ethola kuyiSundowns ezothola i-free kick kube inhlanhla yabo nabo ngoba bangene ngendlela efanayo bobabili lapha labadlali ke kakhulukazi uye ubeseshushuluza naye yena lapha ke uMarcelo Alende angathi ke Orlando Pirates njoba iqale kanzima kangaka ukuthi iqale ngenelo igoli ngomzuzu ka11 sombeni sokuqala bazokwazi ukuziqoqa lapha babuye ngoba ke nangesizini efile iSundowns yaba shaya kwazeke kwaba kabili bona baze bayiphindisela nje kuyona lapha ke icup nyanga lapha ke asibone futhi yona la iMamelodi Sundowns bekuyena lapha uRivero hlupha nangelapha ke sibonti ke uMaswangane ngayibuyisana angakhokha kulela phutha elenzekile kuyona lapha elidaleke yona ipenalty bandile Shandu muhle ke ngokuthanda ukushoshela enkosinathi Sibisi badlala ke baya emuva ke kuyena lapha uSipho lapha Shane emuva igoalkeeper nang lapha uSalenga bangamnikike ithuba uyabona nje ukuthi bamfakele lapha uButhwili ukuthi ke nangu lo muntu ke odlala ngapha right back ingozi umbheke nangumthobi umvala uthini uNompempe bakhuza ubani Rivero ibhola lizobekwa phansi nansizwa lapha uSipho Mbule la ngimangalile ukuthi awudoda athingazivamisile ukusithola ke ischeme kodwa ke bambuyisa ngomdlalo ke onzima njengalokho kusho ukuthi ke bayawazi ke lapha ke amagalelo akhe yena lapha uSipho Mbule bandile Shandu kubuhlungu kabi isinenxeba ke manje iOrlando Pirates idlala ngaphansi ke kwengcindezi ukuthi ke babheke bafune igoli kodwa babheke futhi kungangeni elesibili njoba ke iSundowns emidlalweni ke eyisithupha bayiwine yonkana usebenzile lapha umthobi umvala le bhola banike like laphunyuka bebeyongikhonzela kuyena lapha ke uZakhele olipasa nangilapha ke uBaloni no lapha ke umfaka Mfukeng badlala ke swini Monare uyena ke lapha i-defensive midfielder eyaziwayo kuyona lapha eOrlando Pirates umfana ke asazi ke noma ngabe kuthiwa ufuna ukuhlasela kodwa phela awubuze ubheke ukuthi uphatha ihawu elilodwa nangilapha ke uPaseka uMako obunye ke ongekho kulabadlali baseswini bayeOrlando Pirates ke ovamise ukuqala imidlalo ke engiyena lapha uNhlolo cishe lapha-ke konakale cishe ahambe nabo Tebogo Mokoena nansi-ke futhi-ke ayikasuki lapha ingozi nangu Alende nangu lapha uPeter lapha ushalulile asibona ukuthi-ke angenze njani-ke la uPeter Shalulile nangu uZwane ezeke ukuthi-ke azomsiza-ke nangu laphana-ke bekuyena lapha uThemba Zwane abone uButoyili ibhola-ke libuya futhi-ke la isandla ziyaqala-ke manje ukunyakaza Tebogo Mokoena ayikhona lampeza laphana-ke u-Alende nangu laphana-ke uBaloni uke wayithola-ke i-Game Town ngesikhathi bedlala nayo lapha i-Joining Galaxy yase eBotswana la abaningi-ke bamangala ukuthi ishawe i-Orlando Pirates ngobanini kodwa-ke abadlali abaningi bekwe esinye iskimu abadlali abavamise ukudlala-ke bebe ngaphandle la-ke umdlalo-ke esobabona kuyo abe-Orlando Pirates ukuthi angabe kuyaphi kule sizini bathathi basaphi yolo abodlala-ke nayo iSundowns Sipho Mbule iwona-ke ozosikhombisa ukuthi i-Orlando Pirates yenzani la nomhla uTebogo Mokoena Butoyili uma laphana behlasela-ke basala bebathathu laphana emuva asibone-ke lapha ibhola-ke bekumnapulo ibhola likaMnapulo-ke lafuna ukudala ingozi-ke kodwa ukhona Bandile Shandu kubambisana-ke okuhle lokhu laphana ku-backline ngeke ayivumeke leyo nto bamdlale kabi la uMnapule Salenge naye-ke abangakamniki nelincane nje laphana-ke ithuba yena laphana uMnapule lapha uSalenge basafika kuyena umntu ubeselaphana-ke phambili kodwa-ke uyinqaba laphana-ke uPaseka laphana-ke uMako Baloni nangu laphana-ke uBandile Shandu ubese ile lapha eswini-ke asibone-ke laphana uzakhele lipasa laphana ubani uke waphenduka nje wabheka ngale ngakule flank laphana-ke ubesekhona lapha uPatrick Maswanganyi wayoke laphana i-Orlando Pirates uyakangabheka wabheka ngapha kuphela Tebogo Mokoena Orlando Pirates-ke yenza kahle ngabavumeli bayenza i-build up kusuka laphana-ke ngasemuva-ke abayo laphana-ke Mamelodi Sundowns ngoba bayingozi kakhulu-ke uma bavumela nangu laphana-ke manje u-Alende uzama ukuthola ukapteni wakhe laphana-ke uThemba Zwane kodwa-ke libaphunyukile-ke abe-Sundowns uMnapule laphana-ke uSaleng uyazi kuhle kabi nangabe udlala i-right back kuthi-ke umuntu oyiwinga akukhavele abuye njengoba uSaleng esolokhenza kuzosiza-ke laphana uBandile Shandu nanguPaseka uMakho-ke benaye laphana-ke uMaswanganyi laphana-ke insizwa nje engenalo loluncane-ke lapha uvalo wazi wafaka nje lapha emnqashini yena liqobo yena laphana-ke umfana lona uLebohile yena laphana-ke umfukenge naye uqala igame asibone lapha Monare nalaphana ibhola uBaloni ukuthi-ke lapha wenze njani-ke nabazama ngale-ke yena la kodwa-ke le bhola-ke ulisebenzile lapha uButoyili iphelile-ke manje la 20 minutes esombeni lesi-ke sokuqala ukusayihambela kahle kakhulu yona la Mamelodi Sundowns.
Mamelodi Sundowns have found their groove in this encounter. And although Pirates have made a terrible start to this game, the only silver lining, if there is any, is that they have conceded quite early. So they have the entire game to search for a leveler. And the midfielders, Baloni, Mofokeng, Maswanganyi, Monare, just need to settle themselves. Here he is, Baloni. Is a new buck spy from All Stars, one of the standout midfielders last season in the Motsepe Foundation Championship. Maswanganyi against Tebogo Mokoena. A player with flair against a robust type of midfielder. Now, if there's any man that can unlock this Mamelodi Sundowns defense from a set piece, his name is Monapule Saleng. And that line is rather high from Mamelodi Sundowns. Plenty of space for him to caress the ball between Ronwen Williams and that yellow wall. But before that, the meeting with Oki and Mokoena. This is a promising moment for Orlando Pirates. And again, Mr. Bambiso not quite happy. Saleng puts in a decent delivery. Ronwen Williams, though, well off his goal line to claim it. The visitors definitely don't just win and defend titles, they break and they set rare records too. Only Baxter's Kaiser Chiefs have enjoyed a better start to a premiership endeavour. And again tonight they've made a perfect start against Orlando Pirates. Ribeiro Costa, he's been on fire for Mamelodi Sundowns this season. Here's Butwill. Rivaldo Kutsia, Mbule. Sundowns patient as ever. Ribeiro Costa flaunting. Rulani Mokoena was so pleased with his side showing in Tanzania that the performance made him emotional, especially under the circumstances of immense heat and an artificial pitch. But that supercharged emotional state won't dissipate against the two Soweto behemoths this week. That's nice from Mbule. Mokoena also alluded to the Buccaneers' obsession with crosses. Instead of prolonged build-up spells, Pirates average about 9 crosses a game, but Ronwen Williams had to save Mamelodi Sundowns there, and it's back to front. But Peter Shalulile is marginally offside. A great moment for Orlando Pirates to almost pounce on. And a rare lack of concentration from the Mamelodi Sundowns contingent. But Pirates do exactly the same. Here comes Ribeiro Costa to Peter Shalulile. Shalulile to Allende. Sibisi goes sliding in, and this time it's a clean challenge. Baloni. The speed of this game has increased. Marco. And we've seen that the tactical philosophies and player coaching techniques between these two sides differ quite dramatically. As Pirates try again to scoop and slide in Monapule Saleng, but this was the earlier moment that could have resulted in an equalizer. Rivaldo Kutsia, casual, and Baloni almost making up for his error earlier on. But one commonality that Rulani Mokoena and Jose Ribeiro share is their ability to separate themselves from the result. Hence why the data makes for great reading. But Ribeiro won't be all that pleased. Ribeiro Costa is having so much fun down that right-hand side. But the Buccaneers let off the hook. Monare, the one on the turf. Ribeiro Costa really did try to force that nutmeg through. And there it was. And then Monare colliding with Ribeiro Costa as well as Mbule. Mbule has picked up the first yellow card of the game. The Buccaneers lost their first ever cup tie under Rivero on Sunday. So he, together with his band of Buccaneers, are on the path of retribution. And the path has been made slightly longer by that Ribeiro Costa opener from the spot. Mokoena, that is delightful from Tembazwane to Peter Shalulile. And he can't believe that he's been flagged offside. He returned to action in Tanzania after recovering from a hamstring injury that sidelined him for over a month. And if it were any other player, their recovery would have been much longer. A hamstring injury, like former players would tell you, is no joke. Now there was a high boot here from Khuliso Mudau. Mamelodi Sundowns have already picked up 2 red cards this season. And we'll have a look again at that challenge. Now there's a lot of pushing and shoving between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. Monare being pulled away by Baloni. And the referee will have to do some thinking here. Mofokeng was impeded. No, it wasn't. It was Mbule's challenge on Paseko Marco. That is the one that is, or that has been looked at by the referee. Khuliso Mudau under the spotlight. Now Masikole Bambiso is a young man that was born in the dusty streets of Tembaletu and started his refereeing journey in 2012 in the George Local Football Association League, and he is now on the biggest of stages, making the biggest of calls. He's already made one tonight. Question is, Joe Hudler, could he make his second?
Lang kabang utige u referee ankona nang imkhuza ke manje lapha unenhlanhla ke uSipho Mbule. Abadlali beOrlando Pirates bakhombisa okukhulu ukungeneliseki la ngesinqumo ke sakhe uNompempe lapha ke uMasiqole ukuthi ke umiyekeleni ke angambhali yena la uSipho Mbule engicabanga ukuthi ke la ukuyena ke ngoba bephakame kakhulu lapha unyawo lwakhe kodwa kusithathile ke la uNompempe ke isinqumo sakhe ukuthi ke isinqumo sami ke ilesi ukuthi bathini ke abadlali imina la engiphethe ke iPepe nangilapha uKhuliso uMudau leli goli ke seliyenzeke iyazinza njengamanje ke iMamelodi Sundowns izinzile singasikela ngoba ke imidlalweni eyisithupha abayidlalile bayiwine yonke lapha abeSundowns bana 18 points. Uma bewina lo namhlanje bazaba ke na 21 points. Angikholwa ukuthi ke kushuthi kube futhi ke kukhomba khona ukuthi i-DStv Premiership kuzoba eyabo mhlambe ke seboyiwina kuze kuphele ke ikulandelana ibe yishumi okungayi record ke engazi ukuthi lo phulo ubani uma ngabe iSundowns ingagcine ke yenze njalo nangla uKhuliso insizwa ka ayinanhlanhla kahle kuyona lapha eqembini lesizwe ngoba uNyiko Muphi sekuthabisa umunyane ngicabanga ukuthi uzoba uyena ozoba isekela likaNyiko Muphi yena lapha ukhulisa kusho ukuthi-ke kuthanda ukuthi-ke kungeyiqondeli kahle laphana-ke indoda singasazi-ke isizathu njengoba-ke ibhola likaSipho-ke lonakala kwaze kwasukuma-ke manje naye uyathetha-ke manje uRolando Bugwina. Unanethimu enye encane le ndoda ngake ngayibona idlala ithimu yayincane akathethi nakhona unomuntu phansi akathethi nje uthi komkeki into zakhe lezi njengoba-ke umbona ethetha kanje. Nansi-ke la bokudala-ke khona-ke la offside asibone lapha-ke angazi ukuthi-ke kuyenze iyazinza ukubuya kaSipho Mbule yona la iMamelodi Sundowns offside lapha uZakhele insizwa-ke le uZakhele kuwo wonke nje imncintiswano edlalayo la ngaphansi kwe-PSL unamagoli-ke ali10 kodwa-ke kwi-league asasengu4 kuphela njengoba-ke awi-cup mane lapha umfana olafana-ke omdala asibone-ke lapha ibhola kule Orlando Pirates uthi angenze njani-ke lapha ngejubane kodwa-ke uhlakaniphe kakhulu Ronin Williams yayazi ukuthi ithenga ini iMamelodi Sundowns kuleya goalkeeper ogcine kuyena ugoalkeeper laphana-ke obadlule bonke ngesizini efile. Yena futhi-ke okuhle kakhulu uyakwazi ukuthi-ke akhe ama-moves eSundowns awakhe kusuka laphana-ke khona emuva. Ngethemba-ke ubhekile la uRiveiro ukuthi ikuphi okufanele akulungise, ikuphi okufanele makakushintshe ukuze into yakhe laphana ihlangane ngoba njengoba kunje iSundowns ikhululekile umdlalo laphana-ke awuyixake neze. Sibone laphana-ke uMonare ibhola-ke nge-Orlando Pirates abantu asebewine ileague isikhathi ezisithupha. Akho mpendulo-ke qhamukayo kanti-ke abaningi nami futhi-ke ngilapho ekutheni-ke abantu okuyibona okufanele ukuthi bayiphazamise iSundowns yibo laba bezimnyama base-Orlando ngempela kodwa-ke athanda-ke ukungakahlangani kahle kodwa yibona kuphela nongabheka isquad sabo ubheka abadlali abanabo nendlela nje abake badlale ngayo. Amanye amathimu kusenzima ukuthi-ke nangi laphana indoda ishayi unenhlanhla mhlamba kambonanga lapha unompempe upaseka lapha ngathi-ke Mfukeng upaseka elahla ibhola laphana-ke ekhombisa ukungavumelani-ke nesinqumo sakhe la unompempe kanti-ke ugoalkeeper we-Sundowns une-yellow card nje ngoba naye lapha ngathi uSipho Shane lapha leya penalty wakhuluma kakhulu akambonanga-ke lapha unompempe upaseka Marco. Akuyeke-ke manje lapha phambili ituba nangi laphana-ke alende sibone lapha uzwane nanso futhi uRibeiro inkinga-ke futhi wasasebenza Monare usebenze ngempela laphana-ke uMonare i-free kick le Orlando Pirates nangi laphana-ke yena upaseka Marco kufanele abeke phansi umoya nansi lensizwa-ke yase-South America ebengisasho ukuthi-ke iSundowns njengoba sibheka nje leya move ukuthi-ke yenze kanjani sebenzile ngempela uMonare lensizwa uLucas Roberto. Ongabheka iSundowns iyabathanda abadlali base-South America ungabheka nje Augustino Serino, Ricardo Nascimento, Leonardo Castro, Jorge laphana Torrealba abadlali abanye-ke babadlali laphana-ke abebesemabhukwini eMamelodi Sundowns besuka khona lapha eSouth America. nangi laphana-ke uSibisi amaphutha-ke nanguSipho Mbule bazozidalela-ke inkinga-ke bona nangi laphana-ke nozwane abayi-Orlando Pirates labila-ke yena futhi laphana-ke uSipho uMbule nali manje laphana-ke aliphunyuke-ke ibhola laphunyuka-ke kulokhu bethi alitrepha laphana i-first touch yamlimaza laphana u-Alende laphana Butwili la kuyofanele baqaphele-ke manje lapho Sipho lapha umvala Ronan Williams lapha-ke nangi lapha uKhuliso lapha umdawu asibone ukuthi-ke imove yakhe lapha iphelela kuphi uKhuliso umdawu wafika lapha Paseka Mako wafika nje wayinqamla yonke lapha leyo nto ngisafuna nje ukubheka kahle la kuyona iOrlando Pirates ukuthi angabe laphana-ke kukhona kushodaphi ukuthi-ke bangakwazi ukuthi-ke ke behlasele asibone iqali leOrlando Pirates asibone-ke futhi lapha Mamelodi Sundowns uthi kushalulile ekenilekeleni kipi nangi lapha u-Alende lapha Tebogo Mokoena badlala nje laphana-ke ngendlela yabo umvala Khuliso Mutawu Sipho Mbule shuthi lapha shuthi ubonile lapha uRulani ukuthi uyamdinga lapha-ke aliphunyuka ibhola kalula kuye uSipho Mbule ama-passes akhe futhi mahle sebenzi-ke yakhe lapha kodwa-ke lapha-ke uyaphikelela umaphikelela ngempela la yena uPaseka Mako uthi-ke lapha-ke kunompembe khala-ke ngesikhathi eside esithathwe lapha nguKhuliso umdawu ukuthi aphose leli bhola head coach uyena mphathi Rulani Mokoena usizwa ngumfoka Mnciphi usahamba-ke uSteve Khompela uku-Moroka Swallows basele nje-ke babili njengamanje okuyinto-ke la vele evamisile-ke la ebholeni nali-ke ibhola limhlulile la uBandile Shandu Rivaldo Kutia badlala-ke bayimuva abayo bayiqala phansi abayo laphana i-Sundowns ngo-20 laphana-ke usheshe aphume lapha azomqeda ama-offside lapha azomqeda ama-offside la laphana umdlali uPeter Shalulile uyahluleka kubamba bebheka njengamanje njengoba-ke iphethe nje leya nsizwa engale umsisi kaNompempe okuyena laphana-ke insizwa laphana-ke yakwa ephethe ngale yakwabaloyi iyona engale uthiwa-ke akho lutho nje alibonile-ke lapha uNompempe angazuthi-ke kuzoba mkhulu-ke la umsebenzi wakhe uRivero nansi loya mjaho wenzile-ke lapha ugoalkeeper umsebenzi wakhe ukuthi-ke leya ndoda engalitholi la iphelile-ke manje 40 minutes esombeni sokuqala kusele 5 minutes asazi uNompempe uzokwengeza isikhathi esingakanani.
Thank you, Joe. The last 5 minutes of the first half is usually a crucial period in a football match. Orlando Pirates just need one. Whoa, what has happened here at the back? Almost a moment to forget from Mvala. Gives you flashbacks of that Wydad Casablanca own goal. But in all fairness, his gladiatorial mindset puts him in one bracket above the common PSL defender. But that's not his best work. But the outcome, not lethal at all. Here's Mbule. In the last decade, the Sea Robbers have won this particular event on 7 occasions. Mamelodi Sundowns have been victorious in 13 of the episodes. And historically speaking, Mamelodi Sundowns are the favourites in this duel. The Buccaneers' 3-0 victory in the MTN8 semi-final was only the club's second victory in 12 previous battles against the champions. And that pretty much sums up the feeling of every Buccaneer nationwide, but it can all change rather quickly. And for the past 3 seasons, Orlando Pirates have endured the Brazilian propensity for dominance here in their home. Of the last 3 league meetings between the two at this famous venue, Sundowns have scored 6 unanswered goals. Gabadinho Mango was the last Buccaneer to score against the Brazilians in Orlando, and that was some 3 seasons ago. But 42 minutes in and Sundowns have had 59% possession. Nice ball from Ronwen Williams. Khulusi Mudal does even better, and he goes driving towards the box of Orlando Pirates. He chops it back. Giveaway from Mokoena. Pirates gifted right back to Masandawana. Nice turn again from Themba Zwane. And he goes bearing down a goal. Themba Zwane looking for that bender. Chine, though, read his intentions. And this is what he does best, Themba Zwane, the little half turns. The finessed shots. And from a neutral's perspective, it must be so good to see him back. Now Ronwen Williams has escaped his goal mouth and will be booked. Maswangani, Bandile, Shandu, Oki all want something more than a yellow card. And for the protest, Monare sees yellow. Jose Rivero, calm-headed, much more calm than Monare. And it's for that challenge. Ronwen Williams on Zakele Lepasa. Now there's a few things that need to be talked about here. The fact that it perhaps wasn't central might have saved Ronwen Williams. Otherwise, he might have seen red. The fact that Mamelodi Sundowns had 1 or 2 defenders in close proximity as well. But Monare wanted something more. But he himself has picked up a yellow card. Tempers are flying and are sky high in Orlando. Also a yellow card for Ronwen Williams. And it has to be said as well, Ronwen Williams had no intention to play the ball with his head or with his chest or with his knee. And that's something that I'm sure will be discussed and dissected by Dr. Mnandi and Sompo Kekana and Vusiwe. So do stay tuned for that one. But before then, a Monapule Saleng free kick. Now Jose Rivero might see red, or one of his assistants, perhaps Coach Mantla, and it is him. He's sent off. A lot is happening here in Orlando. Nothing is working in the favor of the Bucks. Jose Rivero losing one of his right-hand men. Two minutes then have been added on. But expect a little bit more. Monapule Saleng steps up for Orlando Pirates, goes for goal, hits the two-man wall of Tembazwane and Ribeiro Costa. Baloni has a strike from range. Wonderful block from Teboho Mokoena. Hungry like the wolf. Stoppage time is up. Giveaway, Monare. Mofokeng. Baloni again. Here's Mofokeng. Tembazwane tries to dispossess, but to no avail. It's now or never in the first half for Orlando Pirates. Monapule Saleng going from right to left. Khulisa Mudau puts a stop to it. Now, although this is the first Pirates versus Sundowns convocation in the Premiership this season, it is salient to at least acknowledge that the last time Orlando Pirates were able to defeat Sundowns twice in one league campaign was in the 2010-2011 season. That was a long time ago. And it is the end of the first half between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates in their first league meeting. In the 9th minute, new boy Baloni brought down a slippery Tembazwane, and Ribeiro Costa scored his 3rd goal from the spot this season and his 5th in the league. Orlando Pirates have been shut out by the champions. The game was expected to be tight and tense, and so it has proven to be. It ends after the first 45. Orlando Pirates 0, Mamelodi Sundowns 1, courtesy of Ribeiro Costa.
Esgodini Maminzela. And when you look at those halftime statistics, the glaring one there for you being Orlando Pirates having 0 attempts at goal, 0 shots on target, whilst for the Brazilians it is of course 2 attempts at goal as well as 2 shots on target, with the bulk of the position, 61%, going in favor of the visitors. As things stand, they are well on their way to their 17th away unbeaten match. Are the Brazilians. I am of course still joined in studio by Mkonza as well as Hlompo Kekana. Mkonza, let me start with you. We look at those halftime stats, 0 shots at goal from the Orlando Pirates side, and we also saw in some moments there a very frustrated looking Zakele Libasa.
Yeah, first of all, if you profile this first half, Pirates are struggling to establish control and play. They're struggling to transition against 2 holding midfielders who River no Mukwena. And now that compromises good compensate for your defense to attack. And what I've also realized, the fact that Pirates plays with a lot of width. Sundowns, they've done their homework on Pirates. Pirates are struggling to find progression on the wide areas. That means Ama unit Mako and Fukeng Ngapa, Usandu no Saleng, they're not functioning and effective. And that is why Pirates are struggling. But also, you can't establish control when you 1 or 2 passes, especially playing against Sundowns. And Sundowns, they've got that central overload. It's difficult to penetrate Sundowns through the center. You need to find progression on the wide areas. That is why it's been a first half that Pirates are frustrated. I spoke about the tension. You can see even the red card reflects good nature.
Of Mandla Nxigazi, they're of course getting that red card and being sent off. Let's speak, Hlompo, about the Sundowns we've seen coming out in this first 45 minutes. And perhaps let's also just touch on the lines that they've been showing in this encounter and just pressing this Pirates side.
I must say I'm very disappointed with the way Pirates started the first half. You know, technically they were very ill-disciplined. I can easily tell you, you can't be dribbling while you're not dribbling, to go forward. Of course, with this it's a result of losing position, unforced error that they really shot themselves on the foot. My Songanya, for me, you can't do that in a match of this nature. Try to keep it simple and make sure that you use the ball properly. You know you're playing against Sundowns that presses every time you go wide. They use the line as one of their defenders. But you are wide, you want to shield, you want to dribble. They get the ball, this is what happened. You pay the school fees.
And 2 errors from this moment, V. One, I would say Maswanga game intelligence. I mean, you can't be running into overload. Traditionally, overload means we are blocking this area, we are isolating the other area. And then secondarily, Upaloni Lapa needed to stay on his feet. This tackling against a skillful Tembazwane, you are bound to make this type of errors epoxy, because Tembazwane chances are from time to time he will never shoot, he will just cut it back. And Manja will take it when you're giving advantage to him. But a good termination from Costa, very brave. I was saying these are moments for big players, because it comes with a lot of pressure. It's a definitely penalty the whole day. Principal relax.
It's a penalty there given by referee Ubambiso, and Mkonza, it's a penalty all day, every day there. And of course, Lucas Ribeiro Costa, currently the top goal scorer in the DStv Premiership so far this season, finding the back of the net once again for this Brazilian side. All right, that's how things are looking at the halftime break. The Brazilians leading Orlando Pirates by 1-0. We'll take a look at some of the other key points coming through from this clash, and we'll speak to how the Buccaneers can turn the tide.
Pandapreneurs, do more with 4G and Google apps. Get the Vodacom Kicker 6 4G smartphone for 999 Rand on prepaid. Plus, you get 140 minutes, 1.2 gigs anytime data, and 1 gig YouTube data monthly for 12 months when you recharge for 29 Rand every month. Further together, Vodacom.
When it comes to pain, we only seem to talk about 2 sides. The pain you feel and the relief once it's gone. But what about the moment in between? When you're finally released from pain. That moment when you start to get back to ordinary, and ordinary feels amazing. Whatever pain you're going through, release starts here.
Yongini zihamba kakuhle tata. Uzonyibilika.
There's a glass and a half in everyone.
The pain relief product that's been trusted for over 100 years is now available in an easy-to-use format. Introducing the Grandpa Stick Pack. The easy-to-use no-mess pack is perfect to take with you on the go and contains the same product quality and quantity that's been trusted for decades. Grandpa is ready to work in 10 seconds to provide fast relief from headache, pain, or fever. For trusted pain relief in an easy-to-use format, choose Grandpa Stick Pack. Grand Power, helping you buy better.
Rice doesn't get better than this. Speckle.
Whenever you have something really cold, and then you get this short, sharp kind of sensation, that's sensitivity. It can get worse. The problem is not going to go away by itself. I always recommend Sensodyne. It's specially designed to care for their sensitivity. And I've had people coming back to me saying it's made a difference. It works.
Maynard, it's a juicy kaboom!
It's smile time with Beacon. Buy any two of your favorite Beacon treats and stand a chance to win 100,000 Rand every week. Beacon, find your favorite.
Well, it's halftime here at Orlando Stadium. 1-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns, who've taken the lead via a Lucas Ribeiro penalty. In fact, the talking points have also been off the pitch. Just in the dugout, coach Mandla Nikazi has gotten himself into hot water, has been sent off by the referee for saying a few words, having a couple of words with the fourth official and the referee himself. Unhappy with the decision that was taken when Ronwen Williams was only given a yellow card after seemingly what was a foul on Zakele Lepasa, who had a goal-scoring opportunity. Earlier, Sipombule, there were questions whether he should have been on the pitch after a high-footed challenge, as well as question marks over the penalty. But the Buccaneers must pull themselves up by the bootstraps to figure out a way to come back into this game, to end the dominance that Mamelodi Sundowns has over them in this particular fixture.
And of course, that is certainly a big talking point there. Questions around whether Ronwen Williams should have been given a red card in this incident. Instead, we saw Tabang Munare as well as Williams being given yellow cards. Let's speak to that, Hlompo.
Yeah. On a day, that should be a red card. But today's match, I would easily say maybe you look at the two defenders that were covering Ronwen there and maybe give the referee that benefit. But that should be a red card all day.
All right, Skizo, from your point of view, we spoke to the frustration from the players on the field for this Pirates side. Let's talk to what needs to change for this home side if they're going to walk away with a point, or if they even can come back and walk away with the 3 points.
I was a bit surprised Timmy started on the bench. I know he hasn't played many matches, but what becomes critical for this type of matches, high-profile matches, you need good experience. And team brings that experience. You want fluency. Pirates don't have fluency in the match. And fluency needs confidence. You need to have a confidence to be able to establish control and play. But as far as the other dynamics are concerned, I think the coach needs to work on the principles, sort out the principles, make sure he reminds the players the importance of making sure that you defend well with balance, but also when it's time for transition. And I don't think Sundowns can match Pirates when it comes to speed.
All right, and Hlompo, for Sundowns, do you think they remain the same for Rulani?
Well, they'll remain the same. I think at this moment, they're still controlling the match. In Bule and Rivaldo Gauthier in the midfield. I think Rivaldo needs to be careful a little bit because they have been pressing him from behind. So I think with the midfield, they need to make sure that they keep it tight, because when you play against Pirates, you mustn't lose the ball easily.
Right, and we can see here already a change for Orlando Pirates. Dion Hotto coming in off the bench. Let's take you through now to our commentary team. Joe Woodla ngesiZulu kanye futhi no Reynard Kuhn ngesingisi for the second 45 minutes.
Yebo nangela panake uDion Hoto ungena ke endaweni yakhe la panake uRelebohile Mufokeng bekuvele nje ngicabanga ukuthi uRivero ubeganga la ukuthi egemini efana njenganale udlala neSundowns wase eqala kanjalo eqala ke lapha ke ngentwana wabeke kanti eqala ngayo kanti futhi ufake nomuntu omusha ongakajwayeli kakhulu ukudlala lokho ekwathola igame time lapha ke bedlala neJwaneng lapha Galaxy uBaloni abese futhi efaka naye lapha ke uMfokeng kodwa ke okufanele manje Orlando Pirates ikwenze ayikhohlwe ke ngokwenzeke nge-first half ayikhohlwe ukuthi bancishwe ukuthi kutholakale i-red card nokuthi mhlawumbe ezinye ingoma zikarefa bakhohlwe abangene ke manje badlale ke igame yabo badlale umdlalo wabo basengelapha ke basengabuya lapha egamini ngethemba uRivero ubatshelile nangilapha uDionoto noLipasa kodwa ke la uyenqaba yena ukhuliso Mudawu yilokho kuphela okuzoyisiza la iOrlando Pirates ukuthi ikhohlwe indaba ye-first half manje badlala ibhola nangilapha ukhuliso lapha uMudawu Tebogo laphana Mukwena ngoba nayi Sundowns ke ayikho ungathi ke efomini ethusayo kangako la namhlanje njoba ke lapha idlala kodwa ke igame bayakwazi ukuthi ke bayiphethe ibona bazi ukuyiphethe bayicontrola futhi nangilapha uBandile Shando labafana beOrlando Pirates ke enye into okufanele ukuthi bayenze abakhohlwe ke na ureferee isikhathi esiningi ngoba lento izobakhipha lapha ke egamini yabo abamkhohlwe kancane ureferee khona i-captain lapha uTapelo uXoki nangilapha uSipho Mbule Tebogo lapha ke uMfokeng wathi siboneke la ibhola kodwa ke i-throw in yayo Orlando Pirates bekuyena lapho Themba Zwane uthole le penalty nje ngokuthi uhlakaniphile lapha walishiya nje unyawo lwakhe wayilinda indoda ukuthi ifike lapha ke ishanele ke nonyawo lwakhe nakhona njalo le penalty awazi ukuthi lapha uBaloni beza belapha nje bebeyephi uSibisi noXoki nangilapha uShandu uBandile asibonekela ukuthi angenzani lapha uMnapule ngase kube elinye ke lapha ke ithuba la Orlando Pirates asibone lapha uMaswanganye lapha ke uzekwenzeka iphutha amabhola njalo baze bamphuce ukuthi akaphasi ngani inkosi yodwa yazi nasibonekela iona la Mamelodi Sundowns uZwane kodwa ke alangafika lapha ke kuyena uPaseka uMako nanguDion Hoto Maswanganye abambalapha ke abamzwisisi kahle abeSundowns abafunele lokhu eqhwisha phambi kwabo Sipho Mbule nangilapha ke uTebogo Mukwena babedlala bobabili futhi ku central midfield ye SuperSport yena lapha ke uSipho Mbule noTebogo Mukwena lento yabo futhi ihlanganisiwe futhi njoba noma sebelapha kuyona iMamelodi Sundowns Themba Zwane nange lapha uAlende Marcelo umuntu owaziyo la akanaso isikhathi sokuthi uzoloku edribula uyazi ukuthi ibhola kufanele lihambe umuntu lapha ke ayikho ke la ukuthi kokugijima yena nebhola wenza nje ukudlala ibhola kube lula uMarcelo Alende Rivaldo Kutsia obona ubusilapha ke ukhuliso Mudawu Paseka Mako ke ophasa engabhekanga kodwa ke ifoul le eyenzeke lapha ku goalkeeper indawo ka goalkeeper le nangilapha ke uphase engabhekanga la kahle hle uXoki kodwa-ke badlale kabi abe Mamelodi Sundowns usho njalo uMasiqole lapha Bambiso osenikezeke ikhadi elibomvu umsizi kaRivero uMandla Ncikazi Yabona iMamelodi Sundowns uma ngabe izothatha lo 3 points ayi ukuthi bayifice kabanye ayi kuzosinda kube yitshe ngoba yabona uma ngabe kwenzeka sibone lapha uPaseka Mako ukuthi angenze njani ke ngale move eShano Dionoto ngoba yabona iOrlando Pirates ayikaqali nokugqongqoza lapha ke ikakhulukazi kuyena uRonnie Williams fanele ukuthi ingqongqoze ngempela ukuthi ke imenze lapha ke ayivulele ikwazi ukuthi ithole igoli okwamanje ayikhona kahlangani kahle hle balimazana nje bodwa ukhulekani engaboni Monare kodwa ngenhlanhla Themba kahlalanga edolweni ngoba mayihlale edolweni akazukwazi ukuqhubeka negame uMonare kobe sekusho ukuthi kufanele babheke lapha uMichael Team ke naye ke oqale ebhenchini ngalindelanga nansi yake ihlakaniphile la uzwane uyihlakaniphela kodwa ke nanginalo Repero ushaya ipenalty angeke ayibambe ugoalkeeper uyibonile kodwa ayikho nje into abengayenza la ugoalkeeper weOrlando Pirates nangela angathi uMonare uzokwazi ukuqhubeka uRulani wenzani manje lapha kubadlali uvule i-lecture room iyona oyivulile lapha khona into ayibonayo lapha ufuna ukushintsha angazi ukuthi ubani azomfaka noma ngoba kusekhona uJunior Mandieta lapha ngaphandle nange lapha uTebogo lapha nomkwena akumake ushalulile hayi shalulile ibekwi ithuba keleli ebelingona alimoshile iform yakhe ikabuyi kahle hle akuselo shalulile weshama goli angazi ukuthi into yokushama goli iyafika emhlabeni akalungi kahle hle Mnaphule baloni ke lamphunyuka futhi ibhola kodwa wamsiza ke la kodwa uphase umuntu offside position uSaleng uDion Hoto nolibhasa futhi bevele nje naye esegijime wasifaka lapha ku offside position yazi kodwa masuyibheka kahle hle ngenzeka ukuthi nasekuyibheka kamphake manje ngenzeka ukuthi ibhola beselisemoyeni ngesikhathi laba beba ku offside position John Hoto wadlala kahle siboneke izoba ikhona noma i-throw in iOrlando Pirates okwathiwa liphose akasachithi isikhathi ukuthi ulindele left back lapha uDion Hoto namhlanje ke la ufunda okunye la uMaswanganye belokhu kudlala namanye amateam ezenzela namhlanje ikhona Orlando Pirates nalo-ke ithithuba ubone khuphuka lapha uNkosinathi Sibisi eyalaphana ke phambili bayazi balidinga ke la igoli laphana ke ibhola bathe uyibambile ukhuliso laphana ke umdawo sibonela le bhola wonke ke laphana ke etebekwe phansi nje ekaSaleng asibonekela ukuthi ke bangenzani abeOrlando Pirates khona yini abangakwenza kodwa Ronnie Williams mawulibeke eduze kwakhe akukho ke nje ozokuthola kuyona la iSundowns uma ibhola ubeka sibone Sipho Mbule Themba Zwane kwathiwa kuThemba Zwane obe lapha ebamba ke uSaleng Monare bengicabanga ukuthi ulimele lapha uMonare lapha umdlali ke wokuthengwa ngempela i-Orlando Pirates ke ayingoqi umdlali mayekhona bembona ukuthi muhle bayakhipha nje imali bamthenga abanye ke bayangoqa too much. Asibone ke lapha ke wenze njani la uSaleng naye lapha ke uDion Hoto la usibone ke le move nansi ke lapha ihamba iphelile ke manje i-10 minutes yesombeni sokuqala. Asibone ke lapha ke ibhola ukuthi izonze njani nansi ke corner kick ethola yona ke i-Orlando Pirates awamaningi ke amakhona kuyasho ukuthi ke i-wing play yamathimu amabili ke ayisebenzi kangako. Nangokubuye ke naye lapha uJose yena lapha ke ngathi uLucas Ribeiro ubuyile ke ulapha emuva nangela evula futhi ke incwadi ke enkulu ke angazi uvula siphi ke isahluko uma Siqole Bambiso la naye lapha ugoalkeeper weMamelodi Sundowns ake sibheke nje le eshawa uMaswanganye ikhona nangekhanda wabamba kalula phelile ke manje la i-10 minutes esombeni sokuqala sayilona igoli elilodwa khamba iMamelodi Sundowns. Renan
Maswanganye has achieved his best career stats to date. He's assisted 6 times this season and he's also scored 2 goals. And he delivered another sumptuous cross on that occasion. First shot on target as well. Now in the first half, Saleng was anonymous, Maswanganye was quiet, and Lepasa was silent. Mamelodi Sundowns will want to keep them on mute in the second half. And Marco has been given the license to explore the left channel a little bit more, a bit higher. Dion Hoto made his way onto the field of play at half-time, and it's a trio of changes for the opposition for Mamelodi Sundowns. Tapelo Maseko and Tapelo Morena is back from injury. Junior Mendieta on the field as well. Ribeiro Costa, the one that has been sacrificed for that man, Junior Mendieta. And the player's return is done and dusted. And it's so good to have him back. Same can be said for this young man, signed from SuperSport United. Another goal for Ribeiro Costa. His job is done. It's now up to those 3 substitutions that have been brought on. Butswell, good, decent ball from him. Sibisi will get there first. Now it's clever coaching from Rulani Mukwena, because he does realize that the game has slightly opened up. Hence the introduction of Maseko and Junior Mendieta. Mendieta was the impact sub against Kaizer Chiefs, delivering that inch-perfect cross that found the head of Koliso Mudau at the FNB Stadium. And they need him tonight again. And that guy has just been untouchable this season. Here's Junior Mendieta, tries to thread it through to Morena. Maswanganye for Orlando Pirates. Baloni's ball is disappointing. Mendieta brought down. And he also already has 1 goal for Mamelodi Sundowns this season. That being against Richards Bay after a sublime connection between himself and his fellow South American expat, Ribeiro Costa. Here is the Chilean on the hour mark. Mamelodi Sundowns holding on to their slender advantage. Mendieta for Maseko. Orlando Pirates might not have the best record against Mamelodi Sundowns in Orlando, but they made this place a fortress in recent times, as Mokoena has a hit. China with enough of himself behind it. Marco and Dion Hotto head the other way. That's nice from Hotto. And it will be picked up. Shot from, lashes that one into the Orlando crowd. Pirates, Maswanganyi, the centerpiece once more, and he's looking for his 11th goal this season. He'll have to wait a little bit longer. Zakele Lepasa. Dion Hotto was brought on for two reasons: his own personal quality, and then also just to combine a little bit more with Zakele Lepasa, who was slightly isolated in the first half. Maseko against Sibisi. Sibisi does well. There's a reason why Sibisi is acknowledged as one of the best defenders in this league. Goals in those 4 matches, and this is the man that has plotted their downfall. If the scoreline stays the same, I should stress that. It was a venomous hit from Mokoena. The China had eyes on it. And he has shown already to Bochum Mokoena that he can hit them from range. Just think back to that rocket he scored at Loftus Versfeld against Al Ahly. And at this point, no one can really fault his methods. He's gone on a 10-game unbeaten run in the Cups that was ended by Jwaneng Galaxy. He's outwitted Rulani Mokoena before, but never before in the Premiership. That's an item he'll want to check off his bucket list tonight. Still a lot to do for the Buccaneers. That free kick is taken quickly by Marco. In 2023, Orlando Pirates have played 12 previous matches here at the Orlando Stadium before, and Mamelodi Sundowns were the only ones to blemish what could have been a perfect home record in 2023. And they are looking for their second win here in Orlando in the space of just a few months. Baloni. Oki checking the run, checking the flair of Junior Mendieta. And here is Maswanganyi, the ultimate provider for Orlando Pirates this season. Tries to do so again, but passes it straight to Ronwen Williams. And that sums up his performance, his emotions of the night so far. But they can't afford to give up just yet. Morena is launched towards the substitute, who can, as we all know, play at right fullback, but he's filling in for Peter Shalulile up top, mostly because of his energy, the gas tank that never runs on empty. Maswanganyi is off for Orlando Pirates. Not his best performance. A few positive signs. And here's a man that we haven't seen all too often for Orlando Pirates this season. Kapinga. Kapinga did score 4 goals in his 32 appearances for Mamelodi Sundowns, and he's yet to feature, or he was yet to feature for the Buccaneers before this one. But he did start for the first time against Jwaneng Galaxy. And he has a real point to prove. Past Tembazwane, Monapule Saleng, that's clever from Saleng. Bandile Shandu squares it to Saleng. And Hoto to Brayende. Will scrap it clear. Monare. Monapule Saleng, Zakelele Pasa. Nice challenge. Needed to be. From Junior Mendieta. They need a bit of magic from him. As do Pirates from this wizard. Orlando Pirates are pushing here. Another yellow card. Kuliso Mudau didn't manage to pick one up for his high boot-esque challenge in the first half. But he's got one now. Kuliso Mudau, a yellow for him. Another free kick for Orlando Pirates. That challenge on Kapinga, and it looks like a nasty one, always on the slow motion. Kapinga, credit to him, doesn't make much of a meal of it. The Buccaneers in the stands are urging their team on. Kapinga looking for his first memorable moment in the colours of black, white and red. Against his former team, Kapinga puts in a delivery. Ronwen Williams punches it clear. Saleng, good ball from Saleng. Joe Hoodler.
Nangela panage e Mamelodi Sundowns ifuna ukufaka wayoke lapha nake asibonanga ke ephumela ke ngaphandle yena lapha nake uThemba akusho ukuthi ke ufuna ukuyovala ke manje yena uRulani Mokoena angisazi kahle hle isizathu lapha nake kodwa angazothi ke uyayizwa ke indaba yayo ke icoach nange manje la umdlalo nangila uMasicole Bambiso kukhona ke manje lapha ke ukhona ufuna ukubhala uMasicole na indoda ilimele kodwa ayithethi nomuntu phansi lapha ke upaseka lapha ke uMarco uyathetha ebe elimele nangisengenile manje uOpri lapha ke uModiba nansi engena nje uthola nansi yellow card eyithola abavamsile ke lokhu endodeni itsobona ke la ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani nanso ke la ifree kick yeqembu ke le Orlando Pirates ufuna ukuyisha futhi noma uSaleng uye uSaleng oseduze kakhulu ke nebhola bayayifuna lapha ibhola noma igoli lokulinganisa abayo lapha neOrlando Pirates ithi ke sobona la ukuthi kumi kanjani nangela ibhola likafake kahle lapha ke ngempela ufake phakathi kwe defense ne goalkeeper yena uSalengo yona uqala kayishaya kahle le free kick kodwa ke nali ibhola ke seluweleke yona iMamelodi Sundowns nayo le free kick ibimgcona nje igcona ibackline igcona ugoalkeeper le free kick yakhe la umnapule yena lapha uSaleng kanti ke neSundowns sifake abadlali manje ke abane Junior Mendieta Tapelo Murena naye lafana uTapelo Masego no Aubrey Modiba kushuthi ke mayidliwa ke namhlanje Orlando Pirates la kushuthi ke iSundowns iyabusa la eOrlando ngoba nangonyaka ofile ikwenzile nangilapha uTapelo uMurena kumdlali uyakwazi ukudlala njenge fullback uyakwazi ukudlala njenge winger uyadlala futhi nalapha ke njengaye lapha unumber 8 yena la uTapelo uMurena umdlali nje lapha kumnandi ukuba nomdlalo nje eteamini odlala ama positions amaningi odlala ku defense naye lapha ke naphambili asibone ke lapha ke ibhola ukuthi lenze njani Ithi sibone ke lapha ibhola ke ela futla nansi through ball kodwa ke ngiyangibona ukuthi izobashiya lapha ke abe Sundowns uTapelo Murena bamkhombisa ukuthi kufanele enze kanjani lapha sayibona ke la ibhola nangilapha ubaloni nayisejwayele la Orlando Pirates uzoba istar lapha lo mfana wedlala kuyona lapha iTondol Stars Mtsipe Foundation Championship asibone ke lapha ibhola iOrlando Pirates Tapelo Qogi Tapelo Murena lapha iyakhuphuka kancane ke manje Orlando Pirates ke ngendlela sebedlala ngakhona manje bayaya khona ke abangakuvuna manje kapinga imfakile la yona Orlando Pirates wedlala kuyona iMamelodi Sundowns ngcono ke sekugcono kakhulu ke manje kwezimnyama sebeyasondela Qogi bona nama passes asekeza afike kubantu abawu4 akuboneke lapha ibhola uDionoto inxele ke manje uDionoto kufanele alibuyise lapha bona ngekhanda lakho uSalenge uliqhuthela kalihedanga yona ke lapha ke le cross yakhe uDionoto Rivero uyabona ukuthi ke nakho kungehlela angihambanga kahle eBotswana ngibuye ekhaya ngidedela abantu okungafanele ukuthi ke sidedela abantu okungafanele sibadedele ngoba bayahamba phela iMamelodi Sundowns bayithola le 3 points 21 points gone lapha ke baya kude ke futhi bangase ke bagcine beyiwina futhi iDStv Premiership kulandelana isikhathi ezingu7 Paseka Mako ngiyambona ethetha lapha kanti akusuye umuntu okhuluma njalo yena lapha ke uPaseka Mako usibisi iSundowns isilapha ke ibabona ukuthi i3 points ke nangegoli lapha elilodwa iyathatheka njengoba sibona ke igoli elolingene lapha ke ngomzuzu ka12 kade kwenzeke leyanto ngomzuzu ka9 okudaleke kube ipenalty uthini uNompempe ulipasa usebenzise indololwane lapha ke iphasi ke engihamba ngasibone ke lapha ke nangimonare ukuthi angenze njani nangilapha ubaloni naye lokapinga lingaleke manje Dionoto nangilapha ukapinga wenze njani lapha ke noDion uhoto waseyilahla hayi khona angathi lo Oyamnyango we-Sundowns awuzogcina nje lapha ungavulekanga ngoba i-Orlando Pirates fanele ifike inokhe mangabe inokhe ngesandla bengavuli inokhe nangedolo mangabe kunokhe ngedolo abavuli nangekhanda banokhe lapho ukuthi hayi nivule madoda sibone ayasho nje la madoda ukuthi kazi savelelwa yini thina njalo le team isidla ngisho ekhaya eligini. Nangela phana-ke uThapelo Murena nangela phana kumajubaloni angenze kalula nje ekhuphuka nayo umjawu kodwa-ke le bhola kuthiwa aliphumanga kuthiwa aliphumanga le bhola uyathethe orevele kufanele athethe angazi lapha umsizi kanopepe lapha uHara Mukwena ubeyibone kanjani le ndaba. Kuthiwa-ke ibhola makubekela i-Sundowns nanginaye lapha uRulario Paseka benaye lapha uMonare udlala kahle lapha eswini uMonare uyena hawu-ke lawo lapha i-Orlando Pirates-ke eswini. Sihamba-ke isikhathi okufanele bakhumbuleke aba-Orlando Pirates ukuthi isikhathi-ke asilindi muntu nangu-ke manje bamsukumisa abaningi-ke bebelokhu bethi kofanele ukuthi badlale bobabili uKevin Erasmus noLipasa nangu umdlalo awumvumanga lo naye laphana-ke ukuthola amabhola-ke bengeka nangu-ke futhi-ke no khona nakuma-playoffs yena lapha kodwa uyena umvale wedlala kahle-ke manje ayikhona Renat akulungi kuyona i-Orlando Pirates.
And there are some of the absentees. Mapoe, Mashiko, Kulise. Some out due to suspension, others due to injury. It's up to the 11 on the field now. If Mamelodi Sundowns are to leave with all 3 points, they'll have to leave with not a drop of sweat to spare. Almost a wonderful bit of distribution from China. Kapinga raising the arm of apology. Sundowns don't really know what it's like to concede a goal before the half-time whistle in the Premiership this season. All 3 that they have let in this season surfaced beyond the hour mark in league games. Mukwena certainly places emphasis on the manner in which they start games, especially in the context of the DStv Premiership. Marco making himself as big as possible to get close to the ball. But Teboho Mokoena is an expert at exactly that. Here's Kermit Erasmus. Kimfudi, I beg your pardon. Early strikes against the likes of Golden Arrows, Polokwane City, Richards Bay, Chippa United, and now Orlando Pirates have all been key for the Brazilians in what are tricky games. That's naughty from Morena. Here's Kimfudi. Teboho Mokoena does his job and excels once more. His pass deflected into the path of Maseko. A few step-overs from him. But Marco holds his ground. Kimfudi again. Hotto making a charge down the left-hand side. Kulisa Modao tracking him. Hotto puts it in. Saleng is there. It won't reach him. Mvala gets there in the nick of time. Specie. Marco shaping up for a cross. And it's poor. Hotto has been exceptional ever since he's been introduced to the contest, almost providing an assist if it wasn't for the Moroccan and the man that once played for Highlands Park. Scored a late winner against Stellenbosch. Could he just do so again against the champions? They hope so. They don't look especially hopeful. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns have been hampered by injuries this season. Kulisu Mudau, an integral member to the matchday squad. But that just looks like to be a precaution. Specie uses his strength. Maseko holding on to his lower back. Orlando Pirates in no mood to put the ball out of play. Oki, though, thought about it, gave it back to Specie. Oki, Marco, good first touch from him. Here is Monare for the Buccaneers. They don't have all day, Orlando Pirates. Kimfuidi does exceptionally well. Marco in some space, but that space evaporates. Hotto skips past Allende. Hotto towards the back stick, where Modiba and Bandile Shandu are waiting. And Modiba just shepherds that one out of play. Orlando Pirates have an empty 8-second leg semi-final matter to attend to this coming weekend, as do Mamelodi Sundowns, which explains just the sheer amount of substitutions that has already been made. Grant Kekana. The centre half on for the fullback. Allende. Another smooth, flawless performance in the midfield from Allende. He's the prototype of midfielder that not a lot of PSL clubs possess. But he gives away a foul there, which means there is a perfect opportunity to bring about a change in the commentary box. I'm out. Joe Hoodler will be introduced shortly. Kimfuidi. Good pass from Kimfuidi. Hotto is making a run. Ground kick. Hotto. Nice from Hotto. Kapinga. Kermit Erasmus. But again, it all comes to nothing. Jose Rivero himself wants to get involved. He wants to play Joe Hoodler. But nothing is happening. for the home side. Might that change in the dying moments of this game? Over to you.
Erasmus bekufanele ibhola liphase ngale ke ngaku right kodwa wanquma ukuthi ke lapha na ke ashintshe nakusebenzama ke manje basukumisa uMakaringe abayo ke manje la iOrlando Pirates bafaka bonke ke manje abadlali sebephosa ke idice lokugcina ke manje bafuna ukubona ukuthi ke njobe bephosa befaka idice lokugcina loba 4-3 u5-2 noma 6-1 noma u6-5 la le dice ke lapha ke njobe bethatha beliphosa lapha ke uRivero ake sibone nje lapha ke ibhola lafeka ku goalkeeper Orlando Pirates asibone ke manje Sundowns ke iya defender manje ibuye yonke lapha ke babheka ibhola sibone Kim Vuidi Orlando Pirates bayibona ukuthi ke iqonde ini ke manje iyalifuna ke ngempela ke manje lakhe igoli Dion Hodo ilokhu ingongo nansi ke lapha uMakaringo Fortune namceza nje bayabona ke isikhathi abayeMamelodi Sundowns ukuthi isikhathi ke sihambile la u1-0 no3-0 no2-0 kuyefana nje u1-0 nawe uyakunikeza ke la i3 points okufanele ikwazi nje iOrlando Pirates ukuthi isikhathi ke asikaze silinde umuntu selokhu nje ke kwadalwa umhlaba asikaze simi isikhathi siyahamba iOrlando Pirates fanele yazi ukuthi ke isikhathi asilindile nangu lapha uMonare Kimvuidi noXoki lapha bazama bafuna bonke ukuya phambili Monare naye lapha ubandile kodwa ke ibhola waselishiyela lapha uFortune uMakaringe asibonela uMakaringe ukuthi ke ikhona yini lapha angakwenza nangu lapha uKemith Erasmus nansi ke kuphuma i-yellow card iphumela ngazi noma uya kumvala uyena uthola i-yellow card kwabe ubaniboneka lapha ke funa ukubona kahle hle uqinisekisa ukuthi i-yellow card uyinike bani uyinike umvala nansi ke lapha ke abe-Orlando Pirates futhi ke lebhola libathi ngase ke kwenzeke omunye umonakalo la wadlala lapha uSipho Shane abe-Orlando Pirates bayazi ukuthi yonke into efanele bayenze ngokushesha Kim Vuidi uzama ukuthola lapha ke uDion Hoto usebenzile ke leli ke esebenzisa ijubane lapha uDion Hoto ulindele ke manje abazomsiza Kim Vuidi uKarim Grand Kekane nawe ucela yellow card ungena nje sihamba ke isikhathi abe-Orlando Pirates fanele benze izinto ngokushesha ke manje nale free kick ke basheshe bakwazi ukuthi ke bayisuse amanye ke amathuba sobona ukuthi ke la uNompempe uzokwengeza isikhathi esingakanani nangilapha uKemith Erasmus uthi ke imina manje angithi uphumile lo usalengi imina ke manje lapha na ke uzoshaya ke ama-free kick ufuna ukuyishaya yena asibone ukuthi ke angenzani nangisishiyelo ke manje uKapinga isizwe sebemtshelile ukuthi hamba wena uyozama ukukora bayishiyela ke manje lapha uLiseti Kapinga nangu ke manje kwenzekani la isithididi salesi esenzwa iOrlando Pirates ke manje nansi ke la wabuyela futhi uKemith Erasmus na wavelwa imosha kokuqala kokugcina ngicabanga ukuthi ke lokhu kukhomba ke ukuthi ke igame iOrlando Pirates kukuphi umdlalo wePirates wavele nje wayilahla kokugcina ke manje uKemith Erasmus kodwa ke siyabonakala lesidididi ebesenzeka lapho ukuthi asizuphela kahle kwengezwe ku4 minutes kuzoba nzima kakhulu ke manje abe-Orlando Pirates khona abazokuthola la nangilapha uPaseka uMarco bamdlale kabi ke lapha uMonare abe Sundowns nonompempe ke lo mdlalo omunye ubhala incwadi uMakaringa akakwazi uyifunda ihandwriting yale ndoda ibhaleke ngendlela engacacile ibhola lagcina ke lilahlekile. uMakaringa ufake ukuthi nje adlale lapha na ke awuvule umdlalo ahlale ngaku touchline. Kusho ukuthi ke amaqembu ke asePitoli kuhamba ngoba kuyona lapha ku SuperSport neKaizer Chiefs ayikhona kusase 1-0. Kusho ukuthi ke yonke into ivuma ithwane namhlanje kuzolalwa kuzovalwa ngehlahla ke eSoweto ePhefeni nalapha eOrlando East. Ujajile la unompempe ibhola ke liyakuyonisana kusele manje 2 minutes kuyona lapha na ke isikhathi esengezwe uyena lapha unompempe imbili nje kuphela imzuzu uma khona ezokwenza Orlando Pirates kufanele basadlalela ezandleni ke manje ze Sundowns abe Orlando Pirates uma bethumela lamabhola amade ukuthi ake sibone athumele nje engaboni umuntu ukuthi ulisa kubani ke manje ibhola. Kusho ukuthi ke le 3 points iyahamba futhi ke iya ePretoria. Nansa ke manje umjaho kaThapelo noSibisi bakonke bakwenza ke manje ngokusheshsha abe Orlando Pirates lisethi Kabinga nangilapha uFortune Makaringe ubethu zama lapha uKemith Erasmus lamceza Orlando Pirates ke kufanele ekuhlanganise manje ngoba emva kwalokho kuseleke 1 minute kuphela ukuthi ke lo mdlalo uye lapha na ke manje ke emaphethelweni. Badlale kabi ke la uTebogo nansi ke yellow card iphumela uTebogo Mukwena Masixole lapha Bambiso okuyena ubambe ibhande lika captain selikuphumela lapha uThemba Zwane uthole yellow card nangilapha Karim uKimvweti Paseka Marco umnyakazo ogcina wayo lapha Orlando Pirates angela Rivaldo Kutia esosobume manje naye ukuyosiza ke lapha kusele nje 10 seconds kuphelele 4 minutes ke ebeyengezwe kunompempe nangilapha ke uKemith Erasmus uthi uMasixole ke Bambiso angisena sikhathi 5 seconds mina umdlalo ke ngiyawuqeda. Ukujabula kwesimangaliso esikubona ke kubadlali beSundowns nabalandeli bayiMamelodi Sundowns ngokuthi ke basuke beze okulona qembu engithemba ukuthi ke bebelesaba futhi belihlonipha iOrlando Pirates ukuthi ke ingabaphazamisa kusho ukuthi ke ayibaphazamisanga angazi ke isiyovinjwa ke ulwandle manje iMamelodi Sundowns ina 21 points ke manje emidlalweni engu7 irecord ehlangene esikhathi elihle ngendlela emangasayo iqopha umlando eMamelodi Sundowns ngalokhu ekwenzekela namhlanje ke Orlando Pirates emidlalweni wayo ngiyakhumbula ukuthi emidlalweni wabokuqala lapha nabeshawa iStelis babuya lapha bayiqoqa ayikhona ke namhlanje bebethi bafuna ukukuvala konke lokhu eSundowns ukuthi ayishaywa kodwa ke ekugcineni ke akulungi lapha na ke Mamelodi Sundowns ihamba nayo amaphuzu onke lapha amathathu ngo-1-0 ngepenalty ke eshaywe kuyena lapha Lucas Ribeiro akukho ke lapha kusho ukuthi ke iSundowns lapha iyakora nasemuva lapha ke iyawuvala umnyango ithathe isikhiye isilahlele noma isiphose lapha emgodini yona lapha iMamelodi naso ke lapha iscore final score Orlando Pirates ndothi ebidlala ekhaya kanti ke iMamelodi Sundowns ngegoli lika Ribeiro Costa insizwa yalapha eBrazil kanti ke lapha nange lapha ke ama stats so bona ke lapha ukuthi ke khamba kanjani lapha kuyakhombisa ke lapha ukuthi iSundowns yona ebe namathuba angconywana lapha ngendlela okwenzeke ngakhona kanti ke ne ball possession ibifuna bona abayo Mamelodi Sundowns kanti uphele kanjalo ke la umdlalo namakhola ubone nje ade emancane kanjani ihodwa kuphela ithole lona iqembu layo lapha ke Orlando Pirates kubhlungu ke okuvelele ke inkunzi ikhishwa lapha ke esibayeni sayo ikhishwa iyona lapha iMamelodi Sundowns hlangane futhi uma sibuya kweBright